Hello YouTube, we're on the real programming channel. I'm its host. My name is Andrei. I greet you. Welcome. This is our 13th lesson. We're talking about HTML, PHP and MySqL and topic PHP MySqL for beginners, in and out of PHP as needed. Okay. It's always a good idea to simplify code whenever possible, especially nested code that gets too deep. Too many else clauses with nested if statements can make your code hard to follow. Maybe that wouldn't matter if we never had to look at it again, but this unlikely. If we ever needed to change the form and add another field, validating it would be trickier than it needed to be because it would be hard to read the code and figure out where changes need to go. And exercise B, the cleaner if code. Oh, sorry, this was solution. Don't see again, please. Your job is to play if code and clean up the messy nested ifs and else. So, and rewrite the code to get rid of the nesting, but make sure it still works correctly. Hint, you might not even need any else's. So, exactly. Don't forget to remember, you will find all the code and materials of this lesson under this video and description link to Google Drive. Download and open this site and download Sublime text. Write this code so that it isn't nested. So, next, test drive. Try out the cleaner if code to make sure it works as expected. Modify the code in this unwieldy.php to use if statements similar to those you just wrote that simplify the if nesting. Flip to the solution on this following page. If you aren't sure about the changes to make, upload the new version of the script to your web server and open this unwieldy.html in a web browser. Experiment with the script by submitting the form with form fields, both blank and fields. Does the script display error message? There are no dumb questions. Are a few levels of nesting really that big of deal? It depends. If you're writing some code that only you will ever see and you think you'll remember exactly what your next line does in 6 months time when you come back to it to tweak it next way. If on the other hand, you'd like to keep your code as cleaner and logical as possible, you can use any of the several logic operators you meet so far. How does else work? In an if the else statement, the else matches anything and everything that doesn't match the if part. Okay, does it mean I could nest if and else in existing if else statements? Well, you could, but with all that nesting, things would get complex pretty fast, and we're trying to avoid nesting here. So, solution for exercise B, the cleaner if code. So, if they're ready, this is our solution. So, here we're testing to see both the $subject and $text variables are empty. Here we're testing to see if $text is empty and $subject is not empty. And here we're testing to see if neither $subject nor $text is empty. Then not operator exclamation mark checks for the $subject and $text being non-empty. If we didn't use the and mark to isolate the non-empty subject or empty body text, we could end up getting an extra feedback message. Some things goes for not empty $subject and empty $text. This code checks to see if $subject is empty and the $text is non-empty. So, and this page tells Elmer what is missing, but not much else. Validation in Elmer's send-mail script is working, but it could be a lot more helpful. When the sendmail.php script detects missing form data, it displays a message that information is missing, but that is it. There is no link back to the original form, for example, and even worse, when Elmer navigates back to the original form, the information he did enter is no longer there. He has to retype both the subject and body of his email message. Brain power. What would you do to improve the error handling of the send mail script to make it more helpful? And it would be cool to show the form along with the error message could be just echo the form of if the mail, subject and body text are empty. Display the form would definitely be helpful, as it would save Elmer having to navigate back in his browser. So, in addition to echoing an error message when one of the form field is empty, we also need to regenerate the HTML form encode from PHP by echoing to the browser. This code shows that PHP is capable of generating some fairly complex HTML code. This PHP code generates the entire HTML form, starting with the form tag. This indentation isn't strictly necessary, but it helps to see the structure of the original HTML code. Since HTML code is written with double quotes, it's easier to use singular quotes to surround strings of HTML code in PHP. If you're thinking this code looks a bit chaotic, that's because it is. Just because you can do something in PHP doesn't mean you should. In this case, the added complexity of echoing all the HTML code is a problem. This is a big enough chunk of code that's generated via PHP with echo to really not a good option. So, easy in and out of PHP is needed. It's sometimes easy to forget that a PHP script is really just an HTML web page that is capable of holding PHP code and you code a PHP script that isn't included by the question PHP and question mark like this. Text is assumed to be HTML. This means you can close a block of PHP code and revert to HTML as needed, and then pick back up with new block of PHP code. This is an extremely handy technique for outputting a chunk of HTML code that is unwieldy to generate out PHP echo statements like our send-mail form code. This tag closes the PHP block, returning us to HTML. The form is coded as normal HTML since this code is outside of PHP tags. So, since we're still inside of the if action and the HTML code is only output if both form fields are empty. So, the PHP tag starts a new PHP block. Since we're still inside the if action, we have to close the if statement before continuing. Write in your comments in a sheet of paper anything you think might be limiting about this code. How would you fix it? And don't forget, remember, you'll find all the code materials of this lesson under this video in the description link to Google Drive. And Sublime text, you can download it here. So, use a flag to avoid or duplicate code. And here is our 13th lesson about HTML and PHP MySqL is over. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel, please. Put likes, share with friends, comment eat bananas, drink more water for the brain, do exercise, meditate, read more books of the topics, and so on. Thank you. Bye.